Assalamualaikum and hello to everyone. Welcome to NBS BANK Berhad. For your information, our bank provides hire purchase which means a vehicle financing product that allows customer to hire vehicle from the bank and subsequently, upon settlement of the last rental payment, to purchase and take ownership of the vehicle. Not only that, hire purchase adopts the Sharia concept of al-ijarah tuma al-bay, hire followed by purchase, also known as ITAP concept.
What is the Sharia concept applicable? The Sharia concept applicable to the facility are ijara, otherwise known as leasing or hiring. You will hire the vehicle from the bank at agreed rental payment over a specific period, which is the hire term. Wakalah is the bank will appoint you as a bank agent for the purpose of maintenance of the vehicle during the hire term. Last one, the bike is literally means sales, whereby upon the expired of hire term, early settlement or prepayment, you will enter a new subsequent contract to purchase the vehicle from the bank at agreed price. In the regards, if you have paid deposit if any to the bank, then you are deemed to have an option of purchasing the vehicle. During the hire term, the ownership of the vehicle belongs to the bank. Upon completion of the entire rental payment, a sales contract shall be executed as a contract to transfer the ownership of the vehicle from the bank to you.
With prices today, you might consider financing your dream car. If you do, here are some things to keep in your mind. Before you buy a car, you should determine how much you can afford and get a copy of your credit report. Secondly, do you really should use financing to buy a car? So, you must know your financing options. Either wants to direct financing or dealership financing. And of course, shop for the best financial deal. Today, let me introduce NBS Bank Berhad terms of financing in hire purchasing product. For new passenger car 4WD, MPV and SUV, and unregistered seller invoice imported vehicle, margin of finance is maximum of 90% of seller's invoice. But for second-hand passenger car, 4WD, MPV and SUV, margin of finance is maximum of 85% seller's invoice only. Now, let's move to financing period that all three types of vehicle provided with maximum 108 months only. That's all from me. Seek NBS Bank Berhad if you need further clarification on these terms and financing.
What do you get from this product? If you apply for vehicle financing from NBS Bank, you will get total amount finance, which is 100,000 ringgit. And the effective profit rate is 5%. It is based on variable rate formula. For variable rate, we have two types, which is base rate and current base rate. For base rate, it is 1.10% and the tenure is 9 years and above. For current base rate, it is 3.90% as at 12 February 2018 and may vary from time to time. Base rate must be made known at time of financing. Next is the shilling rate. The shilling rate is 12%. In any cases where the effective rate is more than 12%, customer will only be charged a maximum profit rate of 12%. What are your obligations? So, if you apply vehicle financing from NBS Bank, you are responsible to do the following things. You have to pay monthly payment amounted 1,152 ringgit. But you have to remember that your monthly payment and total payment amount will vary if the base rate changes. For example, if today the base rate is 3.90%, the monthly payment will be 1,152 ringgit. Total profit cost at the end of 9 years will be 24,386 ringgit and 55 cents. The total payment amount that you have to pay at the end of 9 years will be 124,386 ringgit and 55 cents. If the base rate goes up 1% at the third year, the monthly payment, total profit cost, and total payment amount at the end of 9 years will be changed. The monthly payment will be 1,191 ringgit. The total profit cost at the end of 9 years will be 27,629 ringgit and 69 cents. The total payment amount that you have to pay at the end of 9 years will be 127,629 ringgit and 69 cents. If the base rate goes up 2% at the fifth year, the monthly payment will be 1,209 ringgit. Total profit cost at the end of 9 years will be 27,779 ringgit and 98 cents. The total payment amount at the end of 9 years will be 127,779 ringgit and 98 cents. If there are any changes in Ijarah rate that is applicable to your hire purchase I, bank will communicate to you at least 7 calendar days prior to the effective date of the implementation.
We as the bank should state or let you know what are the elements and components you should pay. And there are 10 elements, which is first, hire purchase I agreement, which costs 10 ringgit per agreement for stamp duty. Second, supplementary hire payment I agreement, which is cost 20 ringgit per agreement for documentation and stamp duty. Thirdly, variation on hire payment I agreement upon request, which costs 10 ringgit per agreement for stamp duty. Fourth, postal, 3 ringgit and 10 cents for account without guarantor, 6 ringgit and 20 cents for account with 1 guarantor, and 9 ringgit 30 cents for account with 2 guarantors. Next, road tax renewal, 10 ringgit per transaction. Next, redemption statement as requested by third party, 30 ringgit per request. Next, discharge and release letter by third party as requested by third party also, 30 ringgit per request. And next, FIS data references, 4 ringgit and 20 cents per transaction. Request for retrieval and copy documents. Additional hire payment I statement, issuance of letter of consent for transfer of vehicle from East Malaysia to West Malaysia and vice versa, issuance of letter of undertaking for insurance and takaful claim, audit confirmation per account, and request for copy of hire payments document. It all costs 22 ringgit per request. Lastly, photocopy of hire payment I agreement, which costs 25 ringgit per request.
What if something happened before I get to fully pay the installments? Don't worry, at NBS Bank, we do provide protection in case of unwanted event happen to the vehicle's owner. Mortgage reducing term assurance, MRTA, applicable only if the debtor passed away. Also, one-time payment, pay with down payment, MRTA price is determined by the price of the card. Also, it's optional terms for customer to choose. It's not compulsory. The amount that bank will cover is determined by bank. As example, Hafiz need to add up Rm 1,000 for his MRTA, which his car price is Rm 100,000. If Hafiz pass away and his family member can't manage to pay his loan, the bank as the MRTA provider will cover up to Rm 80,000 of his debt.
Okay then, we as the bank shall tell the customers what if they fail to fulfill their obligations. They shall be liable to pay the bank compensation, which is the ta'awid, as follows. First, for any failure by the customers to pay the payment due under the HPI facility from the date of first disbursement by the bank until the date of maturity of the facility, the ta'awid rate that shall be applied is 1% per annum, which is on the overdue amount in case of default of scheduled payments or on the outstanding balance of the facility in case of default causing the facility to be terminated or brought to court for judgment prior to the expiry of the facility. Second, for any failure by the customers to pay any amount overdue and which failure continues beyond the tenure of the facility or after the judgment is obtained, whichever is earlier, at such rate per annum as determined by the bank from time to time, before as well as after the judgment, provided the applicable compensation rate shall not at any time exceed the prevailing Bank Negara Malaysia Islamic Interbank Money Market rate on the total outstanding balance of the facility calculated on daily rest basis. And third, by any other method approved by the Sharia Council of BNM, and the amount of such compensation shall not be compounded. Fifth, legal action will be taken if you fail to respond to reminder notices. Your motor vehicles may be repossessed and you will have to bear the applicable costs. You are also responsible to settle any shortfall after your motor vehicle is auctioned off. Sixth, legal action against you may affect your credit rating, leading to credit being more difficult or expensive to you. Seventh, in the event you fail to perform your obligation to pay the rental payment or perform otherwise from the terms and conditions stated in the VFIVR agreement, the bank has the right to exercise reasonable actions to mitigate losses. And eighth, right to set off. The bank is entitled to set off any outstanding amount due in this facility account from any of your deposits accounts maintained with the bank, which the bank will notify you at least 7 calendar days in advance. Thank you.
For the next one is, what if you fully settle the financing before its maturity? The bank shall grant IBRA on any amount payable by you in respect of any payment due under the facility in any these four situation. What is the four situation? This is the example. The first one is any early settlement or early redemption by you, including prepayment. Second, any early settlement of the facility due to any restructuring exercise of the facility by you. Third one, any early settlement by you upon occurrence of an event of default. And the last one is any early settlement by you in the event of termination or cancellation of the facility tenure. How to calculate IBRA for any early settlement by you? IBRA is equal to remaining unearned rental charges minus early settlement charges as may be determined by the bank, if any. Remaining unearned rental charges is equal to unrealized rental charges at the time of full settlement.
Customers will be wondering, do I need a guarantor if I use NBS Bank? For our bank, the requirement for guarantor depends on the merits of each application. In the event that a guarantor is required, he or she will be duly informed of his or her rights and obligations.
For a first-timer who wants to use our product that is hire purchase I, these are the details of document that you have to submit to NBS Bank. For salaried applicant, you have to bring an RIC photocopy, driver's license, latest 3-month salary slip, latest EPF statement, and latest income tax return form. For self-employed applicant, you only have to bring an RIC photocopy, business registration photocopy, and latest 6 months bank account statement financial statement. Notes aside, NBS Bank may require up to 6 months of income statement if the income comprises variable components.
Okay, for number 12, what are the major risks? So, if you fail to pay the monthly installment consistently, the bank has the right to take possession and auction of the vehicle. So, and if you have problem in meeting your financial obligation under the facility, kindly contact the bank immediately to discuss the payment alternative.